I'm a 22-year-old guy in the UK with Indian parents. I was raised in the UK, and there weren't many other Indian people in my area, so I've always clashed a bit with my parents over cultural things like going out, relationships, and independence. They aren't abusive or evil, but they are traditionally controlling. For example, last year my mom found out I had a white girlfriend and completely blew up, threatening to cut me out of the family. We didn't speak for months because every time I tried to talk calmly, she would shout and lose her temper. This is common for her. I have recommended therapy in the past, which she refuses. For context, my parents own a shop. My dad has slowly become an alcoholic over the last 10 years. I've had to break up arguments for years, and over the last few years, I've emotionally checked out because it's exhausting. I've tried to help him many times, but he's never really changed. I still step in when things get bad because I hate conflict in the house. I didn't go to university, but I've landed a well-paid job. I can finally afford a dream I've had since I was a teenager, moving to a flat/apartment in a big city nearby with a friend and living independently in my 20s. We've found places and I'm excited. It's only a 40 to 50-minute drive away. When I cautiously brought this up, my mom exploded. She said I'm betraying her, abandoning the family and leaving her alone with my dad and the shop. In her eyes, this is worse because culturally, sons are expected to live with their parents long term. I've always said that isn't what I want. I said this would only be for a couple of years and then I'd rent the flat out as an investment. I've helped a lot with the shop and my dad over the years, but I'm drained by the constant tension and shouting. I'm very non-confrontational, and it's caused me my first panic attacks. My two older sisters never pushed back like I have, so I get the most resistance about independence from my parents. I feel guilty, but I also feel like I'm an adult who deserves to live his own life after working hard. I struggle to see why they aren't happy for me like my friend's parents are for him. AITA for wanting to move out? Update post. January 24th, 2026, 5 days later. Thank you for the advice. I didn't realize how cut and dry this was. After living with my family for years, I'm able to see it from their perspective. And through a certain cultural lens, a lot more so it was nice to see that despite the problems at home, people were very supportive of me wanting to move out. I spoke to my mom again yesterday, and while I didn't mention the post here, I was a lot more firm on wanting to live my life in a way that makes me happy. It was an emotional, long conversation, but she came around in a way that I didn't think she would, to be honest. She agreed that it's only right that I am able to enjoy my life and get free of the constant unease and tension that's in the house. She voiced her fears about being left alone with an alcoholic husband and not being confident enough in English to be able to run a shop herself and make new friends/connections. But we discussed it, and while I can tell the worry is still there, which is natural, we are on the same page. We spoke about me buying a flat and how we'd go about it. And it really is happening, and I'm much happier that I have her support. I think the last few years of my dad being an alcoholic and not being caring towards my mom have really changed her perspective on certain things. And she's more so glad that I am confidently building a life that makes me happy. Seems like one more honest, open conversation was all that was needed. It's difficult to approach those with stricter parents who are raised differently when it comes to expressing emotions, but the support here and from my friends really did help push me toward not wasting any more time and beginning to live my life on my own terms more. Thanks.